Welcome to the lecture series on electronic instrumentation. In this particular lecture, we will learn about the recorders. And recorders form the third major building block of the electronic instrumentation system. So what we do in case of electronic instrumentation system, it first measures any physical quantity and then conditions that particular measured quantity. Once it is conditioned, it is ready for presentation. It can either be displayed or it can be recorded for future use. So for such purpose we use recorders. We will look into the details of recorders and their classification in the coming slides. Before going into the actual recorders, and at the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand the construction and working of the recorders. You will be able to understand the construction and working of recorders in general and graphic recorders in particular. And you will be able to choose the right recorder for your measurement. So what is a recorder first? A recorder is simply an electronic device which records both electrical and non-electrical quantities. It records both electrical and non-electrical quantities, and these are recorded with respect to time. So if they are electrical quantity, like if they are in electrical form like current and voltage, they are directly recorded. If they are in any other form, if they are in any form other than the electrical, like if they are in the form of pressure, flow, temperature, so we need to convert them into electrical form and then they can be recorded. For this purpose, we use transducers. So we use transducers to convert measured quantities in non-electrical form to electrical form, and then we record them using recorders. So recorders can record both electrical and non-electrical quantities as a function of time. And what is the need to record any physical quantity? Because in industries there are number of processes, and each and every process is associated with hundreds of variables. So if we can measure these variables from time to time, and if we can record their information, if we can know the state of all these variables, then only we can have the proper smooth running of the process and it won't affect the production. If they are not measured, if their information is not recorded, we won't have the past history of all these variables. So we won't have proper control on these variables. So in turn they affect the production. So we need to know the current state of any process, the current state of any physical phenomena, we need to record the physical parameters that are changing with time. So that is the need of recorder. And coming to the classification of recorders, so you can see they are classified. They are shown as a flow chart. Recorders are broadly classified into analog recorders and digital recorders. So you are well known. And the difference between analog and digital recorders are clearly known to you. At least you know the difference between analog and digital system, and it is same. Analog recorder records signals in continuous form, whereas digital recorder records signals in discrete form. So in our particular in our subject, we learn only about the analog recorders, and these analog recorders are further categorized into graphic recorders, oscillography recorders, and magnetic tape recorders. So analog recorders are further classified into graphic recorders, oscillography recorders, and magnetic recorders, and there is subcategory under graphic recorders. Graphic recorders are further categorized into strip chart recorders and XY recorders. So in our subject we learn about analog recorders, and especially we learn about graphic recorders like strip chart recorder and XY recorder, and we learn about magnetic tape recorder. We learn about these three recorders in our syllabus. Moving on, let us start with graphic recorders or strip chart recorders. And these strip chart recorder records any physical quantity varying with respect to time. So it records one or more independent variables with respect to time. Strip chart recorders record the variation of one or more independent variables with respect to time. And it is called as strip chart recorder because a strip of chart continuously passes under a pen, right? A moving strip of paper is continuously passed under a pen in case of strip chart recorder. In this strip chart recorder, a strip chart is continuously passed under a pen, and this pen will record the physical quantity that is changing with time. And the next one is, so as I said, this pen moves on the strip chart. This pen continuously moves back and forth. This pen records the changes in the physical quantity as a function of the input signal, right? And whatever the information that is recorded on the strip chart is directly proportional to the input voltage that is applied to the recorder, and this input voltage corresponds to the any physical quantity that is applied to the recorder. If it is in non-electrical form, that is converted into voltage, and that voltage is supplied to strip chart recorder, that is recorded by the pen of strip chart recorder. This pen records the variation of this physical variable in terms of voltage on the strip chart continuously. So whatever the trace that appears on the strip chart is a record of the input signal that is applied to the strip chart recorder. So strip chart recorder records any independent variable varying with respect to time. It records one or more independent variables with respect to time, and in this strip chart recorder there will be a strip of paper and a pen, and this strip of paper continuously moves under the pen, and this pen records the physical quantity that is changing with time. So whatever the trace that is observed on the strip chart is directly proportional to the input voltage that is applied to the strip chart recorder. And these strip chart recorders are further classified. They are further classified into galvanometric strip chart recorder and then potentiometric strip chart recorder. So strip chart recorders are mainly categorized into two. One is galvanometric strip chart recorder and the other one is potentiometric strip chart recorder. So we'll see the details of these two strip chart recorders. The first one is galvanometric strip chart recorder. So the main parts of this galvanometric strip chart recorder are a galvanometer. So this is a galvanometer. The main parts are galvanometer, strip chart, pen and ink. So the major parts of galvanometric strip chart recorder are a galvanometer, a strip chart, and then pen, ink, like ink reservoir. So these are the main parts of our galvanometric strip chart recorder, and the working of galvanometer is known to us. So the additional thing that is included in our galvanometric strip chart recorder is a pen that is attached to one end of the pointer and an ink reservoir that is connected to other end of the pointer of the galvanometer, and along with this a strip chart, and which means whose movement is controlled with a drive motor. So it consists of a galvanometer, a strip chart controlled by a drive motor, a pen and an ink reservoir. And let us see the working principle of this galvanometric strip chart recorder. As I said, the galvanometric strip chart recorder is composed of a galvanometer. So it works on the principle of PMMC mechanism. So it works on the principle of PMMC mechanism, right? Galvanometric strip chart recorder works on the principle of PMMC mechanism. So whatever the deflection that is produced by the galvanometer is proportional to the current that is passed through the galvanometer. Whenever current is supplied to the galvanometer, a torque is produced and coil rotates. To this moving coil, a pointer is attached, so it deflects. So deflection is produced by the torque, which in turn proportional to the current passing through the coil. So whenever current passes through the coil, a deflecting torque is produced. As a result, the coil rotates, and to this rotating coil, a pointer is attached, so it deflects. So the deflection of this galvanometer is a result of the torque, which in turn proportional to the current supplied to the coil. So, and this current is proportional to the quantity that is to be recorded. So whatever the physical quantity that is to be recorded is converted into current. That current is supplied to the galvanometer. When current flows through the galvanometer coil, so it experiences a deflecting force, deflection torque. As a result, it rotates. Whenever it rotates, so a pointer is attached to this moving coil, it deflects, right? And to the end of this pointer, a pen is fixed, so it moves on the strip chart. So the physical quantity that is to be recorded is recorded on the strip chart finally. So as I said, so when current is supplied to the galvanometer, it causes a deflection of the pointer attached to the moving coil, right? So accordingly, the pen is deflected on the paper chart. Whenever current is supplied, it experiences a deflecting torque. Due to this torque, the pointer moves, and to this pointer a pen is attached. Due to the movement of the pointer, this pen will also move on the strip chart. So whenever there is deflection, it starts recording on the chart. So the current supplied to the coil causes a deflecting torque, which results in the movement of the pointer, and to the end of this pointer a pen is attached. That pin moves on the chart. So ultimately, whatever the physical quantity that is changing with time is recorded by galvanometric strip chart recorder. There is another variant of galvanometric strip chart recorder. In the earlier case, there is a pointer. To that pointer, a pen is attached to one end, and to the other end, ink reservoir is fixed. And there is another variant of galvanometric strip chart recorder. In this case, a mirror and a photosensitive paper are used. The only difference between the earlier galvanometric strip chart recorder and this one is, instead of pointer, a mirror is fixed to the coil, and instead of a strip chart, a photosensitive paper is used. So the working is very similar to the normal galvanometric strip chart recorder with pointer. So whatever the physical quantity that is to be measured is converted into current, and that current is supplied to the galvanometer. Whenever current passes through the coil of the galvanometer, it experiences a deflection force, and due to this a torque is generated, which causes the coil to rotate. Due to this rotation, so a light is continuously light is focused on this mirror. Whenever the coil rotates, the mirror also deflects. So it deflects the light spot on the photosensitive paper. According to the deflection, proportional to the deflection, this light spot moves on the paper, and that is directly recorded because a photosensitive paper is used in this galvanometric strip chart recorder. The only difference is, instead of the pointer and strip chart, continuously moving strip chart, a light source is used here. So these are the two variations of galvanometric strip chart recorder, and both of them records the physical quantity converted into current, right? So this is the working is explained here. The working of galvanometric strip chart recorder using a light source is explained here. Whenever current passes through the galvanometer, the mirror deflects, and the movement of this light beam is affected by the deflection of the small mirror. Whenever current flows through it, mirror deflects. Light is already focused on this mirror. When it deflects, the light spot moves on the photosensitive paper. right? It means whenever it moves on the paper, it gets recorded, right? So that trace is directly, that trace is a result of the is a record of the physical quantity that is varying with time. And an important thing to be considered in case of galvanometric strip chart recorder is paper speed. So as I said, a strip chart continuously moves under a pen for recording the physical quantity, and this strip chart shouldn't move with high speed or shouldn't move with low speed, right? Suppose if at all, if it moves too slowly, suppose if that paper is strip chart is moving very slowly, whatever the data that is, whatever the information that is recorded gets overlapped, right? Then it is very difficult to read. Whatever the data that is recorded on the chart gets bunched up, it gets bunched up, or else it gets overlapped. So whenever information is overlapped, it is very difficult to read. So paper speed shouldn't be very low. If the paper moves too fast, what happens? The information gets spread. It is spread in such a way that it is very difficult to interpret and read. So it spreads on the paper. If the paper moves too fast, the recorded waveform spreads, so the reading, it is very difficult to read or interpret the information that is recorded. So paper speed shouldn't be very high or very low. It shouldn't move too fast, it shouldn't move too slowly. It should be moderate, right? If it is too slow, information gets bunched up, the recorded information gets bunched up or it gets overlapped, which is very difficult to read and interpret. If it moves too fast, whatever the information that is to be recorded spreads up. Spreads means it will be small information will be spread over a large paper. So it is very difficult to read and interpret again. So this is one thing that is to be kept in mind. So while using the galvanometric strip chart recorders, the paper speed shouldn't be too high and shouldn't be too slow. And this recorder is very much suitable for recording low frequency signals or physical quantities that are varying slowly with time. It is suitable for recording the physical quantities that are varying slowly with time. And another drawback with potentiometric strip chart recorders is they have low input impedance and low sensitivity. These are the two drawbacks of galvanometric strip chart recorders. So galvanometric strip chart recorders are suitable for recording the physical quantities that are varying slowly with time, and these recorders have low input impedance and low sensitivity. So moving on to the next strip chart recorder, that is potentiometric strip chart recorder, and this recorder can overcome the drawbacks of the galvanometric strip chart recorders, and this offers, so this can overcome the limitations of the galvanometric strip chart recorders like low input impedance and low sensitivity, and these drawbacks can be eliminated by potentiometric strip chart recorder. It means potentiometric strip chart recorder offers high input impedance and high sensitivity, and this is also called as self-balancing recorder. So we have two types of strip chart recorders. The first one was galvanometric strip chart recorders that we have seen, and the second one is potentiometric strip chart recorder. This is also called as self-balancing strip chart recorder, and it eliminates the drawbacks in case of galvanometric strip chart recorder like low sensitivity and low input impedance. This is the basic schematic of potentiometric strip chart recorder. So it mainly consists of, the potentiometric strip chart recorder mainly consists of a continuously moving strip chart, a pen, a wiper, a potentiometer, a servo motor and an amplifier, right? Potentiometric strip chart recorder mainly consists of a comparator, a servo motor, a potentiometer, a strip chart, and the pen which moves on the strip chart, and a wiper which moves on the potentiometer. And in this potentiometric strip chart recorder, I said this is also called as self-balancing strip chart recorder, and this self-balancing is achieved by a servo motor, and this motor causes the movement of the wiper to which pen is attached. So servo motor is responsible for self-balancing of this potentiometer, and this servo motor, the input to this servo motor is from the amplifier. So as we are using operational amplifier as comparator, which offers high input impedance and high sensitivity. As we are using a comparator made up of operational amplifier, it offers high impedance and high sensitivity. So in this case, the wiper is driven by the servo motor. The input to this servo motor is the output of the comparator. And let us see the basic working principle of the potentiometric strip chart recorder. So we have a potentiometer, a terminal of one terminal of this potentiometer is connected to one of the terminals of the comparator. So another terminal is connected to the input that is to be recorded. So whatever the input that is to be recorded is connected to one of the terminals of this comparator, another terminal is connected to the potentiometer. So these two values are compared, so it gives the output as an error, and that error signal goes to the field, right? So which drives the servo motor. So due to this field, the servo motor drives the wiper. To this wiper, a pen is attached which moves on the strip chart, right? So the pen position is always sent back to the comparator as a signal corresponding to the potentiometer, right? So this pen is connected to the potentiometer through a wiper, and this position results in a voltage across the potentiometer, and that comes to the comparator. So whatever the input signal that is recorded and the value across the potentiometer comes to the comparator, those two are compared. So the signal proportional to the pen position comes to the comparator, and these two are compared, and the difference is applied as an error to the servo motor, and this servo motor drives the wiper. To this pen is attached, so pen moves on the, and this pen moves on the strip chart, and this is repeated continuously until the error becomes zero. Whenever the input signal that is to be recorded is equal to the voltage across the potentiometer, the error becomes zero and pen stops moving on the strip chart. So this is the same is explained here. As the wiper of the potentiometer is driven by the motor's armature and the pen is arranged over the wiper, this pen executes the motion on the strip chart with respect to the directional movement of the wiper, right? So whenever there is difference in the input and the voltage across the potentiometer, we get an error signal. So due to this error signal, this motor drives the wiper, and to this wiper a pen is attached. This pen moves on the strip chart, and the direction of movement of this pen is a result of the error. If it is a positive error, this pen moves in one direction. If the error is negative, it moves in the opposite direction. It can move. The direction of the pen movement depends on the error that is applied to the servo motor. So this is potentiometric strip chart recorder, which is also called as self-balancing recorder, because after a certain time a balanced position is achieved, means the error of this comparator becomes zero. Whenever the input signal that is to be recorded is equal to the voltage across the potentiometer, the error becomes zero and pen stops recording on the strip chart. This is potentiometric strip chart recorder. As we are using operational amplifier as a comparator, it offers high input impedance and it offers high sensitivity compared to galvanometric strip chart recorders. And these strip chart recorders can record one physical quantity at a time, or else it can record multiple physical quantities. So they are called as single point recorders and multi-point recorders. Instruments that record changes of only one measured variable are called single point recorders. Instrument that record more than one measured variable at a time are called multi-point recorders. So a strip chart recorder can take 24 inputs and it can give recorded information in 6 different colors. So a recorder can record a single variable at a time, or it can record multiple signals at a time. If it records a single physical quantity, it is called a single point recorder. If it can record more than one physical quantity, it is called as multi-point recorder. So these are the possible assignment questions associated with strip chart recorders. So you are asked to sketch and explain the construction and working of galvanometric strip chart recorder and their operation. And the next one is construction and working of potentiometric strip chart recorder. What is a recorder? Means these two are basically the graphic recorders. So the information is recorded in the form of a graphic on strip chart. So you are asked to explain the construction and operation of galvanometric strip chart recorder, and the next one is potentiometric strip chart recorder. So we'll see the next recorder, that is next graphic recorder, that is XY recorder, and then magnetic tape recorder. These two are again analog recorders. We'll see them in the coming lecture. Thank you.